Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. As part of my APBA Baseball video last week, I got Combat Commander Pacific from GMT Games in from somebody off Board Game Geek in exchange for my copy of Atlantic Chase. I've been meaning to unbox this for a while now, but I just haven't had time to with everything else I've had going on. Tonight though, I am working on my Cartographer's video. As I'm filming this, that video is currently exporting, so the Cartographer's video will be live by the time this video goes up on the channel. I would expect this one to go up probably as I'm filming this on Wednesday night. I would suspect this is going to be a Thursday night upload, maybe Thursday morning, but don't hold me to that. Anyway, we're going to unbox Combat Commander Pacific in this video and see what's all in here. First up, let's take a look at the back of the box. Combat Commander Pacific Volume 3 is a card-driven board game covering tactical infantry combat in the Pacific Theater of Operations in World War II. One of Combat Commander Pacific's themes is the addition of 3 new factions to the Combat Commander family: Imperial Japan, Pacific US, with a strong emphasis on the US Marine Corps, and the Pacific Commonwealth, focusing on Indian and Anzac forces. Combat Commander Pacific is a standalone game in the Combat Commander game series. While utilizing Combat Commander Europe's rulebook base rules, Combat Commander Pacific evolves and improves upon the system. Numerous rule tweaks and additions allow Combat Commander Pacific to more accurately portray tactical warfare as experienced by the participants in and around the Pacific and Indian Oceans. This slightly ramps up the complexity of the Combat Commander series, while at the same time imparting a bit more depth and realism. Just a few of the additions include bonsai attacks, BARs and Thompson submachine guns, beach landings and river crossings, hidden movement, caves, aircraft, bayonets, mortar spotting, treetop snipers, and reconnoitering. Combat Commander Pacific includes a rules section detailing the differences between Combat Commander Pacific and Combat Commander's first 2 volumes in order that players familiar with the earlier games can jump right into their first scenario with minimal rules reading. 12 new maps featuring terrain specific to the Pacific Theater, 12 new historical scenarios, a Pacific version of the random scenario generator utilizing the new maps and nationalities. This random scenario system provides an almost unending variety of map configurations, force structures, and combat situations. Numerous examples of play, development notes coupled with plenty of play hints, and so much more. Combat Commander is one of those rare exceptional values in wargaming, one that can be revisited time and again, each with a new tale to tell. It is a standalone game, as is noted. Complexity 5 of 10, solitaire suitability 3, game scale, unit squads, fire teams, and individual leaders, time several minutes per turn, map 30 meters per hex. Players 2, but I'll probably end up playing solo by playing both sides, and playing time 2 to 3 hours. So with that, we can dive into the box and see what's all in here. We're of course greeted by the rulebook first up, which we'll thumb through. Actually, that's a pretty thick rulebook. We should be able to thumb through that toward the end. Combat Commander Pacific Playbook. This I'm not going to thumb through because it looks like it's got the scenarios in there. Terrain chart, which isn't double-sided. Looks like time marker advanced procedure, along with some other procedures on here, not double-sided. Japanese support table. I'd be amazed if this is double-sided. It is actually Japanese orders of battle. Okay. U.S. support table, which now probably is double-sided. Sure enough, U.S. orders of battle. That's a little sticky. Probably nothing I can do about that. Looks like victory and looks like a victory and a casualty track. along with a time track and other displays and boxes. More of that. Whatever that stickiness is. Seems like I got it off there, but I couldn't get it off the US chart. That is not double-sided. And it looks like we've got the first of our maps. This double-sided? Yes, it is double-sided. With a lot more forest terrain in there. All the cards, which are coming in a jumbled mess. That's going to need it. Okay, this is bothering me way more than a little bit. So we've got the US Fate deck, the Japanese Fate deck. They're sleeved in penny sleeves, which is probably fine for, well, it's just fine for now. Okay. I'm gonna get these decks out, and then I'm gonna go get a couple bags for these because I'm not letting these float around in the box loose. Looks like everything should be pretty much here. Okay. Looks like the initiative card. Okay. Summaries of orders. What we've got here. Asset denied request options. Night reference. I'm finishing sorting out the Fate decks here. Okay, now I'm going to go get the aforementioned bags. Looks like we also got the Commonwealth Fate deck in here. So go ahead and admire the components a little bit while I go get bags for the US and Japanese Fate decks. I will be right back. Sorry for the brief delay there. It bothers me more than a little bit when I see loose components like that floating around in here. Anyway, let's get the Japanese Fate deck bagged up. And we'll do the same thing with the US Fate deck. Okay. We got those sorted out. Looks like we've got a weird style of craft tray, which that's going to land right in there. Okay. More of the craft trays in here. I'm sure some of these trays will make more sense when we, or what the chits are in here will make more sense when we go through the rule book. Bunkers, and looks like artillery stuff in there. What is this? This looks like more scenarios. More scenarios and more maps. This isn't the whole scenario book, I don't think. Looks like we've got M1. Scenario 2. 3. and 4. Five and 6, 7, 8, 9, trying not to send these flying, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay. And we've got quite a few maps in here, actually. Oh, and we've got a Pacific Commonwealth support table as well, along with their orders of battle. So we can start getting some of this stuff out of the way. Playbook can get to the other side as well. And we've got our other maps in here. Wow, I didn't expect you'd get this much in the box. Okay, looks like we got maps for each individual scenario. I'm not completely sure how I feel about that, actually. Anyway, we've got M6 and M5. We're just going to kind of fan out all the maps here. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but you can see, assuming these are all double-sided, we're going to have there are a lot of maps in here. Total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a total of 18 maps that come in the box, and yes, it looks like they are all double-sided. So that's actually very cool. That's the bottom of the box, so we'll get those. We'll start getting all of this stuff back in the box. The only thing we're not putting back in yet is the rule book, because I want to give that our cursory thumb through. So we can start moving some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to throw this in with the US Fate deck, because like I said, I don't want those cards floating around loose in there. I'll bring everything else out of shot. And then we'll bring the rule book in shot. It doesn't feel too terribly thick, but let's see what we've got in here. 30 some odd pages, so it's not terrible. We'll zoom in on this a touch. There we are. Okay, we've got the differences on Europe to Pacific, which I'll be skipping because I'm jumping in basically brand new to the game. Looks to be a very clinical rule book, as is typical of a GMT rule book. Supposed to be dice in here as well, I think. Probably 2d6 I need. I'm surprised this doesn't throw the dice in here with it, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, it looks like I need 2d6 from what I'm seeing, but I'm sure somebody who's much more familiar with Combat Commander than I am can weigh in on what dice I need. It looks like 2d6, but I don't know if they need to be different colors or not. Again, somebody smarter in Combat Commander than I am is very much welcome to weigh in on that question. Meanwhile, I will just continue thumbing through the rule book. We've got our star shells, aircraft, okay, all of that. Sequence of play. Okay, explaining how stacking works along with line of sight and posture. Line of sight seems to be weird in almost every game that has kind of that open space component, or even with something like a dungeon crawl. Your orders. I'm going to try to thumb through this a little bit quickly. This is probably going to be the longest product unboxing I've made. Just looking at the timer on, well, I take that back. I have had one unboxing that was a lot longer than this. It could very easily have been a full Sunday video. Back when I unboxed the Investigator expansion for Edge of the Earth and Arkham Horror, the card game. But then Arkham videos are pretty much always long. Explaining how the events work, terrain. Okay. And an index, which always makes life so much easier. And sources and suggested reading. Okay, cool. So we can put all of this back in the box and hopefully get everything to close nice and neat. Lovely. And that is everything that's in the box for Combat Commander Pacific. Like I said, as I'm working on this video, the cartographer's video is exporting from Adobe. That will go up. That will be live by the time this video goes up, and I have another product unboxing that I want to get to, probably over the holiday weekend, so stay tuned for that. As for what's coming up scheduled on the channel, Saturday Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Star Wars Galactic Baking Cookbook. Actually, it'll conclude with the dessert, Tatooine Sandies. Over Memorial Day weekend, we'll also see the end of the spring campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game, with the last two scenarios. First up on Sunday, the Dreaming Investigators will take on their last scenario as they venture where the gods dwell. Then on Monday, the Waking Investigators will have their last scenario as they come face to face with the Weaver of the Cosmos. Next week, we're going to play Mag 23 Guadalcanal to finish up our first week in that playthrough. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.